November is a huge month for third party on Nintendo Switch, and today we are going to play one of our most anticipated games here, Doom. Spoilers, I have played an awful lot of the game, but we're going to start a new save file here. We're going to go through the first maybe 20 or so minutes, talk about what I think about the game so far, and show you what the game looks like when playing docked, of course, since we do have a handheld video on the channel right now that you can go check out. Of course, if you want to see what it plays like when you're playing handheld or tabletop, that's the video for you. Here, we're just going to talk about what the game performs like in docked mode. Before we do that, though, let's go into the settings, because I know a lot of people wanted to know if this had motion blur, and it does. It's automatically set to high. You can, of course, put it on medium and low, but it's high by default, so I'm going to leave it there. And other than that, there's not a lot of, video settings for you. If you want to highly customize the look of your game, that's probably going to be a thing you're going to want to do on PC. Campaign difficulty, we're going to play on Hurt Me Plenty. And you can mess with the crosshairs a little bit. You can have a default, simple, and none. We're going to go with default just to make sure that everything's on there. And that's pretty much it. Let's start the campaign here. Actually, let's play on Ultra Violence, just because I've been playing enough on Hurt Me Plenty. And let's see what it is on hard mode here. This is the hardest difficulty that the game lets you set right off the bat. And once you do finish it in this difficulty, other more difficult difficulties do appear. A lot of difficult being said there, but Doom, for those of you that don't know, is one of my favorite shooters of the year it came out in, which was 2016 originally. You can get it on other platforms for much cheaper, but now it's coming to Switch. It is a full retail release, $60. You can get it on eShop. You can also get it physical. It's an awesome game, right? It's just, is the Switch version good enough? And that's where the question that hopefully we answer in our review and on this video here. But let's go ahead and get started.
They are rage, brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear until it is done.
Okay. I don't know why I decided to start meleeing there. I didn't have to. A couple of things that we want to... Here, let's just shoot him so we can talk in peace. Thank you. Okay. Here, let's press this button. Let's go ahead and get our armor before we really get into things here.
We have to contain this.
Alright, and now that opened up, and here we are. This is Doom. There's our suit that I was talking about, so let's go ahead and grab that.
Cannot determine the cause of the demonic invasion until the Resop satellite is brought back online.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Samuel Hayden. I'm the head of this facility. I think we can work together and resolve this problem in a way that benefits us both.
Okay, and we don't care enough about that. Alright, unfortunately, we took damage in the beginning when we probably didn't have to at all. But, right off the bat, I am curious, what do you guys think just visually of the game? Does it look good enough? That's a question that, I'm probably going to be asked a lot. And for me, honestly, It does if you've never played the game. If you've played the game on other platforms, this isn't going to do it for you. You're probably going to think it doesn't look good. But if you've never played it and you've come to terms with the fact that, hey, better versions of the game exist out there, but you want that portability, then I think you should be okay. It's not in 60 FPS. That's the other thing. Let's go ahead and pick up our very first weapon here, which is this awesome shotgun that I like quite a bit. But yes, let's get some of the basics out of the way. It's not in 60 FPS. It's not 1080p when docked. Obviously, it's also not in 1080p when handheld, because the Switch is only 720p. But for the most part, the game runs well. And now we have this imp coming at us. We'll take very quick work of him there. You can check out the codex for different enemy types. The other ones, the ones that are easier to kill, those are called the possessed. You also have imps, and for every weapon and artifacts that you find, there's a lot you can do there. There's also upgrading armor, and there's also upgrading weapons, and we're not going to get into that a whole lot right now. There's also a map, but again, that's not something that we're going to focus on in this video in particular. For now, let's continue to show you the gameplay here. The aiming is one thing that I have a little bit of issues with, just because, 30 FPS, and I'm not used to it. Let's blow up that real quick. Blow up all those little possessed dudes. And once we press this, a whole bunch of more demons are going to come our way. And we'll talk while we hopefully defeat them quickly. I forgot that we did play on a harder difficulty here. So we'll see how that goes. I was wondering why I was losing health so quickly, and that's definitely why. So we'll try to focus a little bit. Every time you do one of those gory, like, cinematic kills there, you do get a little bit of health back, but not a whole lot, as you can see. Honestly, I probably should have just played on normal difficulty, since I'm recording this and talking at the same time. But it is what it is. We've begun our adventure here. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, okay. I thought the imp was a little closer. Where is he? Did he run up? I hate that he run away. Okay, there you are. But yes, the cool thing about Doom, right? It's the fast, frenetic, very action gameplay. It's very, very quick. And, some people might be worried, like, hey, it's in 30 FPS. It's not quick anymore. I can safely tell you it's still very, very fast. Is it as fast as if it were 60 FPS? Of course not. But that's to be expected. Some concessions were gonna need to be made since this is available on our favorite hybrid system. Gosh, I almost died there. Let's not die. Alright, imp, come our way. And regularly I just be jumping all over the place, just killing them on the more normal difficulty. But since we are playing on hard, I have to be a little bit more careful with what I'm doing. And just as I say that, I go ahead and get hit. Alright, there you go. As you can see, still every bit as gory as Doom is supposed to be. So people that were maybe worried that it would get dumbed down a little bit for the Switch, that is not the case whatsoever. Everything is still good on that end. Let's go ahead and get some health here. But yeah, honestly, visually, let's talk about it. It's not as sharp as you can see. There's a lot of detail in environments that are just missing. Even environment in the weapons, some of the lighting is not going to be as good. Things of that nature. But I said it before, concessions were gonna need to be made, and for the most part, I'm pretty happy with the way. Let's go ahead and grab that health. I'm pretty happy with the way the game runs. Again, it being so quick, the 30 FPS thing is a little bit jarring, but you get used to it.
He would ruin everything.
Here, let's go ahead and press this.
I'm willing to take full responsibility for the horrible events of the last 24 hours, but you must understand. Our interest in their world was purely for the betterment of mankind. Everything has clearly gotten out of hand now, yes. But it was worth the risk, I assure you.
And there you go. That's the intro to Doom. For anyone unfamiliar, super awesome soundtrack. As you can tell, it's very loud, so I'm speaking louder. That's why it's right in my ear right now. The gameplay is great. It's a long campaign. It'll take you more than 10 hours, plus the multiplayer is available. I have played a little bit of the multiplayer, and I'll talk about that in a separate video, but it all works. And like, that's the tricky part about this game. It all works just a little better than I expected to. I expected slowdown, and for the most part, there isn't any. You're not gonna see very much slowdown just because there's like a lot of enemies coming at you, explosions. There could be a lot going on, and you're not gonna experience a ton of slowdown. That's not something that you should be worried about. I can't say that there's no slowdown because there's a little bit. It is just a little bit, but for the most part, you should be good on that angle there. Let's continue to make our way down. We do see enemies already, so let's attack, get these gory kills going, and of course try to defeat as many of these demons as we can. Okay, you're just hanging out there, so let's do something to you. Alright, now we're getting shot at. Hi, boys. I'd have to say, other than graphically, the thing that you got to get used to the most is the aiming. It's not bad, but the 30 FPS nature of it does make it a little trickier. Zach had mentioned this when he originally played it, but I do find that instead of just using the... Oh, God. Here, let's make sure you're dead. Instead of using the right stick to aim all the time, I find myself adjusting myself with the left stick. I'll walk myself into position. Here, let's blow him up with that. Oh, didn't blow up. I'll walk myself into position instead of aiming my actual reticle. That is something that I do find myself doing more often than I would like. And, you know, it's part of the reason that my aim isn't probably as good as I want it to be. Just because I'm not used to aiming in this way, and I'm also not used to so many darn evil creatures coming at me. Here, let's run away a little bit. Try to tackle one of them at a time since, you know, they do so much damage to us right now. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. We can do this. There we go. Give us some health. Give us some health. Perfect. Okay. All right. You got taken down. Awesome. Here, let me focus here before I get myself killed, actually. Okay, I can't tell if that blew up the imp or not. I think it did. Let's go ahead and grab that armor. Ugh. Okay. Alright, we'll take whatever little health we can. Let's go ahead and make sure to grab that armor as well. Alright, there's what? One in. And he's done. But yes, like I was saying, the aiming is the only thing that takes some adjusting to, other than the graphical disparity between this and other platforms. There are comparison videos out there that show you exactly how much it is. But if we're being honest, it's surprising that this is running the way it is on Switch. I am very pleasantly surprised. We can't get through there because we don't have a blue card that's like right over there on that dead body that we'll see. It's also good to see mature rated games on Switch, of course. So let's go ahead and grab that access card. There it is. I lost sight of where it was for a second. If any of you have played on other platforms and you're seeing this, like, let me know in the comments. Like, do you think that this looks good enough? And that's the question that you're going to need to answer for yourself, right? I definitely can't answer it for you. It's going to be completely on a person-by-person basis if you think it is good enough or not. We now have grenades as well. So, okay, we're all good on ammo. Let's go ahead, throw a grenade down there, just to show you guys what it looks like. Get them all blown up. Take care of him. And the way grenades work, they are on a recharge here. You're not just like finding a bunch of them as you go. Okay, we probably don't even need to shoot at these guys. Although they still do a lot of damage, these little punks. Okay, you know what? Never mind. Here, can we... Alright, that's... Oh, alright, that did work. And an imp shows up. Hi, imp. Okay. With that, let's jump. Beat him up. But yes, I did go back and look at a little bit of gameplay. I don't have the game like downloaded on my PC. That's the platform that I originally played on myself. So I don't have it downloaded. I had deleted it just for like space on my hard drive. And yeah, I wasn't able to go make any direct comparisons. It would have been unfair of me to do so anyways, just because I was probably going to play it in higher than 1080p, and you know, this is not even that, so it would have been unfair. But going back and seeing the Xbox version and the PS4 version, I feel pretty good about how this game performs. For the most part, as you've seen here, we're not dropping frames, at least not anything noticeable. We seem to be locked in at, excuse me, at 30, in a pretty consistent way here, as this imp is trying to ruin our day. Thank you. Okay, there's another imp. There you are. Here, I believe we can come up this way. Alright, and here we find a whole bunch of little enemies that we don't like, so let's go ahead and throw that there and blow up those first few. Even these smaller enemies here, the possessed ones, they can do a lot of damage to you in this harder difficulty here. My recommendation is definitely start on a more normal difficulty if you can. But here we got our first Predator suit upgrade. You have environmental resistance, area scanning technology, equipment system, power-up effectiveness, and dexterity. We only have one upgrade point. Equipment requires 2, so we're just going to go with the upgrade here. This decreases explosive barrel and environmental damage taken. So let's go purchase that. And boom, we have an upgrade. Okay, besides that though, we need to continue to make our way through the level here. Okay, we also updated our map, which we can take a look at here now. You can, it's a very cool looking, not quite 3D, but 3D-ish map. Okay, and we are all good as far as everything else goes, it looks like. Alright, so that's where we came through. Gonna go back that way. Alright. Here we are. Just because those two like passageways there look very similar, got a little confused, but you know, that's just more of a me problem and not the game's fault. Let's jump across. If we follow that, we can get our first weapon upgrade, I believe. Yeah, here we are. So this is actually like one of my favorite parts of the game. You can decide which upgrade you want for your weapon. You have an explosive shot and a charged burst. You can only go with one. So explosive shot is my preference. Hold the weapon mod button, which is ZL, to charge up an arcing explosive round. So let's purchase that. And like the grenades, this is on a timer. It just refills. Don't believe there's anything down. There is like a lot of like cool little secrets in the game as well. We're not going to focus on that right now. We'll just pick up that codex entry, even though I have like multiple save files that I'm like much further in. So let's not waste any more time. Actually, I talked myself out of wasting all of this time. Alright, you guys are dead. And there's that charge shot that I was telling you about. Ooh, okay. He's already stunned. I don't know if we're going to get to him in time. We're not. We're definitely not. And we're going to start taking a lot of fire. Alright. So let's do our thing as best we can. Oh, another thing that I did want to add. The full package is here. The arcade mode that wasn't originally in the game that came later. That's on here. Everything multiplayer DLC wise is on here. All the skins and different maps. It's all in here. And yes, it's $60. And yeah, you can probably find the game for cheaper on other platforms now, and it'll probably even run and look better. But again, portability and the fact that we're getting mature rated games on Switch, and the fact that third party is finally making a good effort of bringing games we want to the platform. I think this is a very important game. I've been saying that since it was first announced. I hope this does really well. I wish it was cheaper, and you know, I can be honest about that. It would have been awesome if this was a $40 game as opposed to a $60 game, but you know, that Switch tax is very real. I did see an imp kind of just fall through the environment there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he did spawn right back. Hi, imp. But yes, my main concern was this was like slowdown, because there are areas where there's a ton of enemies. Speaking of secrets, we did find one of them there. You can take a look at it here. There's collectibles, UAC, Marine Guy collectibles in every map. Every one you find will unlock a model that can be viewed visiting the collectibles menu. We're not going to focus right now on that either. Kind of forgot what I was saying, but yeah, if I'm being honest, it's a decent port. No slowdown, and that's what I was saying. That was my main concern. Just the fact that, like, I didn't think that the Switch is going to be able to handle it, and it is doing a very good job of that. Surprisingly. So if you were worried, the slowdown that you're seeing now, that's as much a slowdown that I ever see. It doesn't get much worse than that. Here, let's blow you up. Alright, and we're at around 20 minutes here. So just like in closing, for the most part, as soon as we get to another area here, we can stop. But in closing, if you had reservations about the game and how it was running, I do. See, there's slowdown here, but it's not a whole lot, luckily. Let's go ahead and take care of you. Yeah, okay, see, now we're definitely seeing a little bit of slowdown, but there are a lot of enemies. There is explosions going on. This is a big environment, and if I'm being honest, this doesn't happen a lot. Like this slowdown that you saw here, it's not a common occurrence. I've played, you know, a lot of the game now, and I've been pretty good on it. Performing is like it does a good manageable job is all I'm trying to say. I kind of got lost in my words there as I was trying to jump up to kill that last enemy, and it wasn't successful for me, but we did tear the mouth off this imp. Bloody, mature rated adventure game with a very cool story and multiplayer that I feel is very underrated. We are definitely going to check out the multiplayer for you guys as soon as we can. But there isn't a ton of people playing at all times, just because the game isn't out yet at the time of this recording. So, you know, I'm a few days early on it. It's expected for there not to be that many people online. But when we do have a chance to do so, we will definitely bring that to some of you guys. But there you have it. Hopefully, this gave you a pretty good idea of what Doom is like on the Nintendo Switch. We do have a review coming as well, but performance-wise, it's good. It's very serviceable. If you don't mind the visuals, which you can use this video for yourself to judge it. If you don't mind that, this is how the game looks like. This is what the game runs like. And it's still a good game. I definitely am enjoying my time with it. Hopefully you guys do too as well. If you have any questions about Doom on Nintendo Switch, let me know in the comments below. Skyrim and LA Noire are still both coming, and we will have videos on those as well. So other than letting me know what you can do in the comments below and what you want me to do, hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video or found it informative in any way. Subscribe if you're not subscribed for more Switch content. And that is pretty much it. We appreciate you, and we will catch you on the next one. Switch Force out.